Hey everyone, Ben here, and we're back in the iRacing Formula 3 for an intense 17-lap race at Catalonia. I've qualified down in 13th of a 25-car grid, but I've got more pace than that. So let's see if I can get myself up towards the front of the field as we get underway. Here we go then, waiting for the lights. We've got a long run down into T1 here at Catalonia, so the track is going to get extremely busy. We're green, we're underway, and we get a decent start off the line, much better than Richard Fletcher up ahead. Thankfully, we're able to get past him there as he bogged down off the start, and for now, I've got my eyes forward and just trying to stay out of any trouble, ease off the gas nice and early, and take the outside line because I've got a driver on my inside. It looks like everyone's gotten through cleanly so far, but look in the rear view mirror, big crash behind us. Thankfully we didn't get caught up in it. I'm now coming through the right hander and the car has no grip. I'm understeering horribly. Have to get out of the accelerator. That's cost me a little bit of time, but thankfully we haven't lost any positions as behind Stephen Crossley makes a lunge, but all he's done is send himself wide on corner entry. Now look up ahead, cars fanning across the track, and we've got one driver off to the right hand side. Mauro Insinger up ahead locks up terribly but just holds onto the car. That's going to give me a run as we head into the uphill left hander here. I'm side by side into the braking zone, keep the car nice and tight to the apex, don't run it out wide onto that curb, and we've got another position. So a very decent opening half a lap to this race. We've kept it clean and we've capitalised and made up a handful of positions. Let's take a look back at the opening corner then. We're on board with Chris Varwick here, and he's just going to get tagged there and around. That was the spinning car we saw behind. And then this was the collision between Devilet and Emil Klotz, who ends up in the gravel trap. On to lap 2 then, and we're still in touch with the pack of cars up ahead. Confirmation then that we started in 13th, we're now up into P10. We're closing in on the rear wing of Andy Bootland, and we've got a bit of a gap now to Michael Griffin behind. 1.5 seconds in fact is that gap, so a little bit of breathing space to be able to focus on the track up ahead and get some rhythm together. But look up the road and there's been a big collision. That's Nicholas Devilet. He was involved in an incident on lap 1, and that is surely a race-ending shunt. We'll take a look at it in a moment, but we're closing in on Simon Stobart and Andy Bootland up ahead. Got to be very careful here into the extended hairpin at Catalonia. That's the layout we're running, like the Formula 1 track, and now we're coming through the right-hander. Unfortunately for Bootland, he couldn't make that move stick on Stowe, but I had to get out of the gas much earlier there, and that's allowed Michael Griffin to close in behind. That 1.5 second gap I had has disappeared, but for now I'm prioritising getting a good exit onto the start-finish straight, and it looks like I've got a much better exit than Bootland up ahead. I'm in his slipstream, closing in fast here. He's not looking to defend. I've got the overspeed, so I'm going to go down the inside and try and claim this position as my own into the braking zone, keep it nice and tight, and yes, look at that, he's forced onto the outside line. Less grip out there, and I've got the move done. Let's take a look on replay then of Devilet getting it all wrong out onto the curb, spins the car into the barrier, and that is his race over. And then, just a few corners later, I was able to get down the inside of Bootland, make the pass, and that is me up well into the top 10. We rejoin the live action then on lap 4, and we're just about to cross the start finish line. That'll confirm us up into 8th position, so a very strong start to this race. We've gained 5 positions from where we were in qualifying, and I've got a bit of space up ahead as we get into the braking zone, but then we get the call from our spotter. There's a car round up ahead and we're going to make up another position. What on earth happened there? Let's take a look on the replay then. We're following Axel Manero, and he just clips the sausage curb, and you can't afford to do that in these cars. You are almost guaranteed a big accident if you do. Just pushing too hard there, and he paid a price. We're rejoining the live action then just later on lap 4, and you can see in the rear view mirror Griffin has closed in once again. He's got some good pace, Michael Griffin, at this part of the race. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to hold him off for. You can see he's getting a much faster run up the hill there. Perhaps I need to drop down into third gear. We get a decent run through the fast right-hander, but he is looming large in the rearview mirror. I'm going to stick to the racing line here because I don't want a compromised entrance into the corner. And look at that, he's going to have the move done. I'm not going to fight it too hard because honestly it feels like at this early stage of the race he's just got a lot more pace than I have. I don't want to lose time unnecessarily defending or get involved in an accident. So for now I'm happy to just slot into his slipstream. Hopefully he can carry me down the road, but actually I've made a big mistake into the final turn. You could hear then I had to shift down, and that is going to put me under pressure from Bootland behind, who's going to try and reclaim the position we took from him just a couple of laps earlier. I'm going to go defensive this time. If I can hold the inside line, it's a very hard job to pass around the outside here. Let's see if I can do it into the apex. There's a tiny bit of contact towards the exit of the corner. Maybe we squeezed him just a little bit hard. We'll find out when we check out a replay in just a moment. But first, here's the move from Griffin down my inside. Plenty of space afforded, but I couldn't hold on around the outside. And then just a couple of corners later, we're defending from Bootland down into T1. We're going to try and hold a tight line here, but make sure there's no room around the outside, and we just come together. Bootland gets out of it and we both survive. On to lap 7 then, and we've got now a bit of a gap behind and up ahead as we're just getting into our rhythm and our pace, and we've been slowly but surely setting new PBs every lap. But I'm in a little bit of no man's land up in 7th position. We've had a disconnect up ahead of us, so we gained an extra position there. And now, oh, but we've made a big mistake. Look at how easily you can lose the car as we came into the left-hander there. Now we're all of a sudden under huge pressure from Crossley behind. He got all the way alongside me there, just as I had a snap of oversteer into the left-hander there. And then I had to get right off the throttle and try and regather the car. Otherwise, I would have been straight off the track, and that would have been my race ruined. Thankfully, we were able to hold on to it, and we're now heading forward onto lap 13. I've been steadily catching Stobart up ahead, and the gap has come right down. But as we're getting into this stage of the race, I can just feel the tyres going, and look at that! Very nearly pushing too hard through the long right-hander, and somehow was able to hold on to the car. But if you look up ahead, I'm not the only one struggling with tyres. Stobart has a huge moment, costs himself time, but is able to hold the car. That was very nearly a one-way ticket to the barrier, but it's allowed me to close right in on his rear wing. So I'm sensing a chance now of getting up into the top 6 in the final third of this race. If I can just keep the pressure on, maybe we'll see another mistake from Stobart. It's very tricky to pass on this Catalonia circuit, but I've got to keep the pressure on here. But as we get onto lap 14, Michael Griffin, who if you remember passed us earlier in the race, makes a fatal mistake, clumps one of those curbs again, and he is off and into the pit lane. So when we rejoin on lap 16 with just a lap and a half to go, we're up into 6th position. It's been a hugely intense battle between Crossley behind us in 7th, myself in 6th, and Stobart in 5th. You can see each of us trying to push as hard as we can, but managing tyres that are really screaming in pain by this point of the race. And you can see just how much movement Stobart is getting through his car in these corners, and yet he's managing to hold it. We're now going to follow him offline as we enter the final lap of this race. I want that slipstream. I'm not going to be close enough at this rate of closing to get alongside him into T1. I've not got that many chances now to put pressure on and get an overtake done. So many mid-speed and high-speed sweeping corners on this circuit. Following the driver up ahead of you is very, very challenging. The front end of your car just washes out as you're in dirty air. So it's going to be about who can hold their nerve through this final lap. It's going to require a mistake, I think, from Stobart. We've been running about this far from him now for a good few laps. It's been a bit of stalemate. We're running similar lap times. I'm not quick enough to pass him outright on track, I think, without a mistake. So let's see what happens as we come up the hill here and into the final part of this race. We're coming through the fast right-hander. If there is another chance for a pass, it's likely to be into the left-hander at the end of this straight. Are we close enough to benefit from the toe? I am closing in here. I'm going to shape to the inside, but it's more of a dummy than anything else. I'm not going to launch it from that far back. He manages to see it coming. We very nearly get a snap of oversteer there on exit, a sign that I am trying to push the car as hard as I can. I try to cut back underneath him through the right-hander. I'm on the gas early. Again, I get another snap of oversteer, which I'm able to hold, but now we don't have the chicane at the end of this lap. It's just two high-speed right-handers. There's no way of closing in any further. I'm going to have to settle for 6th position in this race, but wow, what an enjoyable one. Totally intense from start to finish. The car track combination means you have to push every single lap. It's pretty exhausting, but it's a very, very fun driving experience. And there's the full classified results. We get a bump to our iRating and our safety rating. We gain 7 positions in the race, and I'm very pleased with that. If you enjoyed this video, I think you'll enjoy the one that's on screen, and I will see you on the next one.